Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Web of Black Widow, issue number 1. I do believe this is an ongoing, and I'm really hoping it's going to be, because this was pretty good. How many things were good about it? Not sure exactly how many things, but I'm going to tell you 5 things about this book. Let's get started with that right now. First, we're going to talk about who made the book. Okay, so writer, Jody Houser, artist, Stephen Mooney, color artist, Triona Farrell, letters, VC's Corey Petit, cover artist, Jung-Geun, butchered that name, sorry. Variant cover artists, looks like there are 4, Chris Anka, Joe Chiodo, Megan Hetrick, and Lee Garbett. Yeah, man, I kind of enjoyed this. In fact, the first thing that we're going to talk about, number 1, is the writing. The writing was pretty good. I enjoyed the way that all the characters were handling this. We get a surprise appearance by Iron Man, both Tony Stark and Iron Man versions of themselves, because, you know, when he puts on that armor and that mask, he's an entirely different person. We didn't get him popping the cover of the mask. That's a big thing that Iron Man does a lot, especially since the movies came out, but he's done so beforehand. Tony Stark is one thing, Iron Man is something else, but then after he's established himself as, I'm freaking Iron Man, he'll usually pop the mask of the, the front faceplate of the Iron Man armor and have a conversation then because, he likes to show off that I'm actually, the guy behind the mask, ha ha ha, I am Iron Man. It's like that way of reinforcing who he really is. We didn't get that in this issue. I'm okay with that, but that's kind of like a pivotal moment, not a pivotal moment. It's like a key aspect of who Iron Man Tony Stark is. We can talk about the art. The art in this book was a good thing and it was a bad thing. I'm going to say it was mostly a good thing, but I've got a page here that is going to best exemplify the art in this book. And I'm talking about both Stephen Mooney and Triona Farrell. First off, I love the way that Stephen has the hair. You look at the different versions of her hair all throughout this book, and not just hers, everybody's hair. In the present time, you see she's got the wavy, flowy hair. Over here, it doesn't have to say in the past. You see the crew cut kind of thing that, that Black Widow has and several of the other characters have. And just by the haircut alone, the hairstyle that Mooney shows, all of a sudden, you know exactly what time period you're in. That is a great use of your artistic abilities. Then, unfortunately, we also have moments like this. I don't know what this is. Like, this just looks really weird. All the respect in the world, because Iron Man is usually handled pretty well in this book, but here, yeah, not so great. There are also moments like this which I don't care. Mooney has a great understanding of what matters and what doesn't. Showing the guy with the freaking bullet in his head who was assassinated by Black Widow just moments ago is the key aspect here. But just really quickly showing, oh, there are lots of witnesses for this. That's important. But, like this hand, what is it? This hand? Yeah, this hand, not exactly the best. Like, nobody's going to walk around like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, come on, man. What do you call it? But, over here you got, looks a whole lot better. It's just there for the sake of showing that it's there. But we also got to talk about Triona Farrell in this. You look at Black Widow. Look at her boobs. Look at her boobs, damn it. No, seriously, look at her boobs. Look at the cleavage. A lot of times you'll have a penciler and an inker. When it just says artist, that means that, unless it also says inker, unless it also says inker or colorist, it means that the artist is the person who's doing all the work. In this case, artist is Stephen Mooney. So Stephen did the pencils and the inks, and Triona did the colors, right? So doing your own inks is kind of like correcting your own work, because the inkers of old, the Joe Sinats, the Dick Ayers, what do you call all these guys that, Joe Rubenstein, that's a big one. I'm going to talk about him in a moment, I think. It's always important to understand that the inker corrects the work of the pencilers. He corrects he or she corrects the line art. This is basically proofreading. Anybody who's anybody, like, for instance, university English professor, I write things. When I need something proofread or edited, I don't edit my own work. I just don't. And I don't care if I've got to go to a 4th or 5th grade English teacher to correct my work. That person who doesn't have as much education or nearly as much experience as I do in, like, grammatical text structure and things like that, teaching, no disrespect, but teaching little kids how to, do what they already know, as opposed to teaching people who never spoke English in their life before, at the university level, there's a huge freaking difference. And I would rather have somebody else, almost anybody else, correct my work, because correcting your own work is just silly. So you got to be pretty ballsy. You got to be pretty confident to be able to correct your own work. Mooney sometimes gets it in this book. But Pharrell, she actually, I think this is I think Triona Pharrell is a female. Just, I'm sorry, I'm assuming your gender. I apologize. She's actually doing the corrections here, or at least, exasperating certain details. Imagine this in black and white. It almost is going to look like a manga, right? The dress is the only thing that really has any serious detail there, right? But when Triona comes on, all of a sudden, look at that. You can actually see the cleavage. You can actually see the lines. Really, really great. That's what I'm saying. This page really exemplifies all of the art in this book, the good and the bad. Number 3 I want to talk about is this mother effing cover. I apologize for messing up the dude's name. Well, let's try it again. Jung-Geun. Sorry, brother. I gotta find you on like someplace. I don't care if you're on Instagram or I gotta follow you someplace, man. Facebook. I'm usually pretty good with Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I'm old. That's why. But I look at this cover and it's great. You look at the cover. Open up to the first page, the interior art. Oh, I love that. I love that. Love that. But this cover, this main cover, dude, this is just gorgeous, man. I am in love with the body design, everything here. I don't recall anything that, God damn it, Jung-Geun, Yoon. I don't know anything that Yoon has ever done before, but I think it's about time to start following this dude because this is gorgeous. Dude, $4 just to buy a cover. I don't care if freaking Jody Houser starts just copying Bible passages and Stefan just starts doing, like whatever, I don't know, copy tracing line art and Triona starts doing like paint by numbers or something like that. $4 a month is worth it for a cover of this quality. So do not lose this person. Wow. I got to see more from this guy. This is impressive. Number 4, I'm going to talk about number 4. I'm going to talk about, look at this. So I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher. Would you believe I used to be an engineer too? Number 4 would have to be the story. The story is interesting because I really like the way that the story works here, even though we don't actually know what's going on in the comic book. Did she lose her mind? Did Black Widow, Natasha Romanova, did she lose her mind? Is she right in going after this person? She's having a conversation about having been dead before with Tony Stark, who is also going through a very similar crisis in his book, showing that Hauser is reading other people's comics. And, bang, you've got this thing where it's like, I don't know what's happening in this book. With pretty much any other character, that would be unacceptable. But with Black Widow, the whole purpose of Black Widow is to not know whose side she's really on. So, perfect handle on this. I 100% trust Hauser to do this. First off, she's a chick. That's not something that's supposed to be taken lightly. She's a chick. She knows how to write for chicks, all right? More than that, she's a chick who happens to be a gamer also. Plays Dungeons & Dragons, or at least watches Critical Role, all that good stuff. So, bang. I think she's also talked about Star Wars FFG on her Twitter also. I follow her, but, I don't use Twitter a lot. Sorry. But she's a gamer. So, perfect. A chick who's a gamer is going to write Black Widow excellently. I was actually kind of hoping it was going to be Margaret Stoll after her story with Black Widow. She wrote 2, I think they were graphic audiobooks. But anyway, she wrote 2 audiobooks, 2 books. And I heard the first one on audio. I haven't gotten to the second one yet. I was really banking on her being a Black Widow writer after the Soska sisters did their 5-issue limited series. But after this first issue, I'm kind of good with Hauser being on this also, just saying. The last thing I want to talk about is a single panel from this book. So number 5, I want to talk about this cleavage scene, damn it. Like this scene right here. Oh yeah, how you doing? This is, I was just talking about the story, I was just talking about Hauser being on this book, right? Listen, you ever seen the movie Euro Trip? Way back in the day, back when porn wasn't free on the internet, just saying. I told you I was old. I thought it was, what do you call it? Most guys we would see, a cool movie like, Fast Times at Richmond High, that one scene that we all know. It's like, oh my God. And then this Euro Trip movie came out and the one girl from there, She was made to look a lot like Phoebe Cates. That was the girl's name. This girl was made to look a lot like Phoebe Cates from Fast Times at Richmond High. Why? Because that scene. That's the whole purpose of that movie. It was a great spin that it turns out there was no female nudity in that movie, only male nudity. It's like, what a great gotcha, you bastards. Good. Score one for you guys. Score one for you guys. But she talked about how every girl, she's not particularly voluptuous, right? And she was talking about every girl knows to, lean forward a little bit and use your biceps, with your arms down to push your breasts a little bit forward. So all of a sudden, gee, I almost look like I had boobs on that one. What's up with that? Anyway, you guys calm down. Y'all calm down. She was talking about everyone knows how to do that trick. Yeah, every guy knows the girls who do that trick also, because just like what happened with Tony Stark, he's like, oh man, I don't have my armor. Oh crap, it's Natalia. Oh crap, she's probably going to poison me again. He still went over there. Why? Because she did that move. No guy can resist it. No guy can resist it. So, yeah, I think that this book is in really good hands, because it's the little nuance, it's the minutia that make me just look at this book and say, yeah, we're set to go with this book. This is going to be a great Black Widow series from this point on. And that's it. I'm out. That was 5 things about this comic book, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.